So now that it's the afternoon, I am working on a little project in the library. I am transposing an interview I did with my mom in 2009. I had I'd interviewed her about her life and everything as much as she could manage because dementia had taken hold by then. So I had recorded it on cassette tapes. So what I'm doing now is I am transposing it. I'm playing it on a tape recorder and recording it on my podcasting app on my phone so that I can have a digital record that I can transfer to leave for posterity, because I have one with my dad also. I wish I had film on her, and I'm doing it so that I guess she kind of lives on in me and miss her voice. And I'll do that for a little while, and then I have some bookmaking stuff I'm working on next. So also on Sunday, I like to work in my little library here. I am working on a scrapbook for my daughter and her trip to Italy. So sometimes the really big books I have really help me out. I like to make books, and I am making a pop-up book. I made one for her friend Olivia, who she had the trip with, and now I'm working on one for her. So I've created the outline, I've created the base of the pop-ups, and now it's time to put all my pictures in place. So I do a little bit each time. I answered someone's question today, and they were like, well, how do you get all this creativity in? Well, I'm so used to having to tuck my creativity into my life in little spaces that now that my life has opened up with larger spaces of time, I don't know, I'm just trained to do things in little bursts of time. And so it took me a long time to relax into working on these things and have more than half an hour to do it in. I used to get up early before work. I used to love Christmas break, summer vacation, Thanksgiving break, spring break. I used to push ahead on my projects on that. I have given up certain hobbies that I had because I had to focus more. I always loved sewing, but I couldn't always fit it in. So I developed these other hobbies like clay work, polymer clay work, beading, jewelry making, reading, scrapbooking, and stuff like that. So I've had to become more focused. So I sew, I make books, I garden a little, and who knows, things will shift another way. I could go back to them, but I'm finding that I gotta focus more, especially since I always like to do a little genealogy. And I read this book where I think it's Big Magic, where the person became and did her own study. She didn't go to university. She studied something she was interested in, and after 10 years, like Malcolm Gladwell says, she became an expert on it and started to consult with other people. I think that's what happened with my sewing, and there's some other topics that I'm interested in, like genealogy and morphology and the diaspora from Africa, and there's all these other things I'm interested in. So I'm tucking it into the time. I don't watch a great deal of television unless it's while I'm doing something else, but I love movies. Absolutely love movies. So because I don't go to the movie theater as much anymore, that's opened up time, because I used to go every Saturday morning to the matinee and then go on about my day. But yeah, so this is my library. This is where all of my books came to rest, all of the books I could bring. I couldn't bring all the books I had in America, but okay, so this half of the library contains all my genealogy things, like all the scrapbooks, because my mom kept books too. So that's all of my genealogy stuff on this wall over here. And then over here are my collections of books, children's, my card catalog. Don't ask me how I got that card catalog. I don't want to have to lie to you. But I'm coming along on this pop-up book for Sarah, and I will add a few more things to it today, then put those big books back on it, let it dry, and so here is the pop-up section. So it helps for me to break things down into layers. Ordering the pictures, sorting them into, having Sarah's help to sort them in. Like, she'll give me little stickies. This is for spa day, where she went, Firenze, Rome, and places like that. Then I create the book out of chipboard. Then I start to cover the pages. Then I start to add the pictures. And then I will add pockets and all sorts of embellishments. And I'll leave spaces for her to write information for the trip. And yeah, so that's how it'll go. It's coming along. It's coming along. And so that's what I do on Sundays. Okay, it's time for those pages to rest. And so I'm going to put some books on it to help it stay in place while it dries. And even though it's a Sunday, there's still dinner to make. Before I go downstairs, I'm going to glue together some of the origami books that I made. If you want to see how I made the inside of these books, check out my Vlogmas. I think it's called Origami Books. Just check on the channel during the Vlogmas period and you can find out how to make these books. Believe it or not, little by little, the project one day will be done. Well, that's about it for my Sunday. We're gonna have dinner. I'm gonna watch something silly on TV, go to bed, and we'll start this all another day. I hope you're having a great Sunday. Talk to you soon.